overrated or underrated?
Absolutely. He's not overrated at all. And I love the quote Saquon Barkley said that, listen, their offensive line just got beat up. Every time he got the football, he had 2 or 3 defenders in the backfield. And it's very hard for any running back, I don't care who he is, Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, whoever, it's very hard to be effective with only 6 carries. You can't ask me my yards per carry to go up with less attempts. Like, it doesn't work like that. And so I'm looking at Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett's the offensive coordinator. You came from the Dallas Cowboys with Zeke Elliott, right? And then you go to the New York Giants where they have Saquon Barkley, and you only give him the football 6 times, right? They don't have that many playmakers on that team, right, to not give the ball to Saquon Barkley enough. He is their playmaker on that football team. And so why wouldn't you want to give him the football more times, right? And so what it comes down to is this coaching staff, and it comes down to Jason Garrett, right? You threw the football 41 times, and you kind of left your running back, your workhorse, because that's exactly what Saquon Barkley is. He's a workhorse. You kind of left him out there on the island, didn't give him enough opportunities, and you threw the football 41 times. You had two interceptions, 2 bad interceptions by Daniel Jones that were blatant that you just can't do in the red zone. And so to me, there are a lot of issues on this New York Giants football team, and it's not Saquon Barkley. You cannot say that a guy is overrated when you just haven't given him enough opportunities to show you if he's good or not still.
You know, Reggie, I agree with everything you said, but you know why I know Jason Garrett was the offensive coordinator? Because of 15 carries that Saquon got, 8 of them came on first down. Doesn't that remind you what Zeke did last year, Skip?
6
I know
carries.
you were looking at that. You said, that's Jason. He doing Jason Garrett type things.
Yep.
Skip, I mean, we saw the clip.
That was 6 yards.
How are you going to get anything when they hand you the ball and Bud Dupree hits you in the back? They hand you the ball in 92. I don't remember his name. They're all over him. He can't even get out the backfield. So I guess the offensive line need to run more wind sprints. Because Joe Judge, they ain't running enough. Because that was pathetic, Skip. That was awful. And Daniel Jones, Skip, you can't have. They're not good enough to overcome those types of mistakes. Yep. And when you turn the ball over like they're turning it over, it's gonna be tough for Saquon. Because you know why? Because they're gonna crowd the line of scrimmage because they're saying, we do not believe your quarterback is good enough to beat us. We know what Saquon Barkley can do. So what we're gonna do, we're going to make you throw the football. And we don't believe your line can hold up, and we don't believe your quarterback, if he does have time, is gonna make enough of the right decisions. Saquon Barkley is fine. But I don't, as you said, Rich, I don't care who you are. You get tackled. I think they had a stat up last night. 11 of his 15 carries, Skip, he was hit either behind or at the line of scrimmage. I don't know what you expect him to do now. He ain't even make no water out of wine. So that's not on Saquon. The offensive line got to at least get him to the line of scrimmage clean. Can we do that, Skip? Can we get him to the line of scrimmage? Can we get him past the line of scrimmage 1 yard without somebody hitting him? No, they said, no, we can't do that.
Okay, it is now Dr. Doom's turn over here. Somebody's got to tell the truth on this show. I'm going to tell the truth about Saquon. I love to watch his games because I wait for the 1 or 2 plays a game that will just light up my TV screen. He is a highlight waiting to happen. And if we could see the one play last night, it was a little screen pass to the right, 38 yards. He hurdles one of the Steelers. You get him in space, you got trouble. You got Reggie Bush problems here. Look at this. He's going to hurdle a DB. I'll watch that 20 times in a row. Watch the highlight. But here's the point. If you're talking about a bell cow, if you're talking about a workhorse, if you're talking about a Zeke or Derrick Henry, he is overrated. He is a luxury back. He is whipped cream. He is icing. You eat some cake. You love that icing. It's the sweetest icing you can ever find because a play or two a game is just going to knock you out of your chair. But the problem is, this was a classic Saquon game. And I get you. Listen, Pittsburgh was flying last night on defense because they can fly. And obviously their whole game plan was to make sure he does not get loose because if you let him loose, he is going to hurt you bad. So what did we see? We saw 15 carries for 6 yards with a long of 7 yards. He got quote unquote loose for 7 yards. So he had 14 carries for -1. Think about that. 14 times you give him the ball and it totals -1 yards. He got loose for the 138-yarder, and he caught 6 balls for 60. So if you subtract the 38, he caught 5 for 22. That's 4 yards a catch. Okay, what did I keep telling you his rookie year? If you look at all his games he played as a rookie, and you subtract his longest rush per game, he averaged 49 rush yards per game as a rookie. If you subtract his longest catch, he averaged 24 yards catching the ball as a rookie. That's 73 combined yards, and it's not that big a deal. Same last year. Subtract the longest rush, he averaged 50 rush yards a game. Subtract the longest pass, 12 catch yards per game, totaling 62 yards a game. So, but I'm taking away the splash play.
But you like that. But you said that's what you didn't like about Zeke, because he didn't give you splash plays.
Okay, but he is a pounder, grinder, workhorse back, and you were advocating earlier in the show, just let him pound, let him grind.
How many yards you think Zeke would have got last night behind that offensive line?
Well, more than -0.4.
I bet you he would not have.
No.
Oh,
Bet you,
no,
no, sir.
He can make.
No.
Put Saquon behind the Cowboys offensive line and put Zeke behind the Giants offensive line.
I told you at Penn State, I didn't see him pound the ball between the tackles. I don't think you can establish the run. Jason tried to last night. He tried to establish the run. With Saquon, he's not that guy.
Skip, no, his offensive line aren't those guys.
Yeah, let Reggie talk. I want to hear this.
He tried to establish a line with the offensive line that wasn't blocking for him. You know what I mean? Every time Saquon touched the football, Bud Dupree's in the backfield, T.J. Watt's in the backfield. They got corners and safeties getting involved in the run game. So if you're Saquon Barkley, and I love the post-game interview where he said, I got to go back to the film, I got to be better. No, you don't. Your offensive line needs to be better so that you can get some opportunities to be in space, because I'm so glad you showed that clip, Skip, of when he did get loose on that screen, because that's the only time he had space in that football game. Other than that, Saquon Barkley didn't have space. And then you look at Saquon Barkley is literally built to be a workhorse. Who has thighs bigger than Saquon Barkley, right? So you can't say that Zeke, on one end is way, he's that much better than the Saquon Barkley, because he's not, because he has a better offensive line, he has better weapons around him, and
better
unfortunately, Saquon Barkley, better quarterback, and unfortunately for Saquon Barkley, this is going to happen every single game. He's going to see 8 to 9 to 10 guys in the box every single game, because they don't have any weapons at receiver, and Daniel Jones is showing you that he's going to throw interceptions if you get pressure on him.
Yeah.
So, Reggie Bush, when you came to the National Football League, were you a workhorse back or a home run hitter?
I was a home run hitter, but yeah, that's the category they put me in. I was a workhorse back, but they categorized me as a home run hitter.
Okay, so where did you have your most success? Which line was the best blocking for what Reggie Bush did best?
Honestly, Miami Dolphins. When I went to Miami Dolphins, that's when I ran the football well. That's when